Hey guys, it's Justine Buick from the NCLEXtutor.com, and today I'm going to be talking about nursing.com. So basically, I'm going to give you a review, the pros, the cons, show you my scores, and then give you some tips if you do decide to use them. Well, just to give you some background information, I've been tutoring for 10 years online, and a lot of students use other resources when they come to us. So we try to incorporate whatever students are using, and of course I have to make sure that it's a good resource. So do they have good content review videos? Are they not overwhelming? Do they have a good qbank? Are there questions that the students can practice that mimic the real NCLEX? So when the students come to us, and of course they've used nursing.com, I want to make sure that it's a good resource. So I bought a membership. So I do know that nursing.com started off as nrsng.com, and it was started by a nurse. His name is John, and last name is spelled H-A-W-S. Not sure how to pronounce that, but I remember seeing him on YouTube about 9 years ago or so, and just listening to him explain some content, and I thought it was really good. And he actually was selling some books too. So I bought 2 of his books. This was like 9 years ago. And this one is The Lab Values They Must Know. And then this one was Nursing Mnemonics. And I looked at the copyright. It's from 2015. So he's been doing this for a while. But, you know, they were decent little books to kind of just help with some content. And there's some pictures in it. So, you know, it was good. And then at some point he made a bigger book. So I got that one too. And this is the bigger comprehensive review book. I bought this a couple years ago, but it's a pretty big book. I mean, it's like really heavy, and you know, it is, you know, it's a nursing book. It has nursing content in it, but that's not really what our students were using. They were using his website, nursing.com. So this is his website, and as you can see some of the prices, I actually paid $49 a month, and it starts off with $29. I'm not sure if you could get a coupon code, and then it can go up to $162 a month. And when we go and we look at their website and see some of the things that they offer, let me log in here. Well, the things that they offer are videos for content review, and they probably have a whole bunch of videos here on their YouTube channel, because here is John with his YouTube award for lots and lots of views. But they also have study tools, so they have cheat sheets and some Picmonics pictures. They have a qbank. They have study plans where you can make a study plan, and they have SIMCLEX, which is simulating like taking the real NCLEX test. So they've basically accumulated a lot of stuff, which you would expect over 10 years of doing this online. So I'm going to start with the pros first, and then I'll go to the cons. So the pros, and I think this is a really good pro, is they have great content review of videos. I watched 4 of them. I wasn't going to watch all of them. I watched 4, multiple sclerosis, pediatric asthma, beta blockers, and congestive heart failure. They were all different instructors, so I do know that he has a team that he has working for them. And very good instructors. I mean, they were able to simplify the topics. They bring up the slides like a PowerPoint up on the screen, and they write on it. Really good explaining content, so I thought that was really good. There's a lot of videos too, so I mean, pretty much any topic you want to review, you can go probably find a video about that. And they weren't very long either, so they're like around 10 minutes, which is like perfect. So pro number 2 is they have a SIMCLEX. So the SIMCLEX is like taking a real NCLEX test. So they want you to simulate that real environment. Their minimum of 85 questions. I'm sure it could go up to 150 questions depending on how well you're doing, but it does simulate the real NCLEX, where it has the appropriate number of questions and the types of questions. It has the new NGNs with the case studies and the standalones. And so that was really good. You get them per month. So it kind of depends on how much you want to pay per month. But if you pay for the expensive membership, what is that, like $162? Yeah, so the 162, then you get unlimited SIMCLEXs, which, that might be something, you would be interested in buying. But I did one SIMCLEX and I'll show you my score afterwards. And then the third pro is it's affordable. So what I'm doing is I have this little chart right here and I'm just going through all the different resources and I'm trying to kind of organize it in a way of like the pros and the cons and how much they cost. And that's available on my website and I'll put the link below. Okay, now some of the cons, and there really are some cons, and I'm really bummed that I actually have to say what the cons are because I'm just always so hopeful when I start a new program and I really want it to be really good. And then, of course, there's always something, and I'm like, oh, what a bummer. So the big con is in their big qbank, which is like 6,500 questions around, they don't have any NGN questions. They don't have any case studies. They don't have any standalone questions in that big qbank. And we need our students for NCLEX prep to be practicing those kinds of questions. And if a qbank doesn't offer them, then it's really hard for me to say, yep, you can use it, or yeah, let's incorporate it. They do have NGN questions though. So they do have them in their SIMCLEXs, and they actually have a video collection of NGN videos with practice questions. They're not NGN videos, they're just content review videos, and then they'll have a 10 question quiz at the end of the video, and it does include some case studies. And you're gonna get between 3 to 5 of those on your real NCLEX. So that was kind of a huge bummer. I started practicing some questions, I did a 50 question test, and then I was like, why didn't I get any NGNs? So then I did another 25 question test. I was like, oh, great, there's no NGNs. And then I did another 25 question test and there weren't any. And so that's when I emailed them and then I said, what's going on? And they are in the works is what they told me. So hopefully they update that, because that is let's just say a big bummer. Con number 2 is they have not updated their software to show that you're getting partial credit in the scores. So I did a SIMCLEX, I only did one SIMCLEX, and I get my scores back and they look horrible. I mean, apparently I passed the test, but when you look at all the scores, and I'll show you that, it looks like I did really bad. So, psychologically, I don't want to feel bad when I look at my scores. And I actually really do want to know, like, where am I at? Am I at least above 60? Because when I start seeing 30s and 40s, I am really worried. So hopefully they also get that fixed soon. And then the third con, which is kind of a con in like every single set of questions that I do for every single company pretty much, is there's mistakes or there's poorly written NCLEX style questions. So there's usually some kind of typo, or they have it written in a way that NCLEX doesn't write the question. So just like for an example, you're not supposed to write the patient, Mrs. Jones, blah, blah, blah. You're not supposed to use people's names. So you got to take that out. Kind of getting rid of those things and formatting it to be more up to date, that would be a good idea. So, which they did tell me that they are working on that too. So that's good. Okay, so I did the one SIMCLEX, and you can look, test taken 1. Let me show you my scores. I have to click on review. Oh, look, there it says I passed. Okay, I got 85 questions. And when we scroll down, it breaks it up by the content, right? Neuro, endocrine, ethical, legal, and you can see my scores. What you can see here is, say like with neuro, I got a 44%. I mean, look how bad some of these scores look. 25%, 44 for pharmacology, OB-Peds, I got 29. 47 for fundamentals. I did get 100% for ethical legal, but you can see how low the scores look, and then it says that I passed. So how is that possible that I passed if my scores were so low and everything? And that's because their software is screwed up. So right here it says how many I attempted. So I attempted 9 questions, and it does show that I got 4 correct, and then 4 I got partially correct. Although that doesn't add up to 9, so I don't really know where that number is coming from. But then it only shows like I basically only got half right. And That's not really true. So when you do the scoring, they give you partial credit. So basically, if you get a little bit more than half of your question correct, then you should get that whole question correct. Like they should give you credit. You're above the passing line. I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's how I do it. They also break it up by the different sections of the test plan too. So like when I first did this and I looked at this, I thought, I'm supposed to be above passing level for every section of the test plan. And then it says 29% for basic care and comfort. I'm like, well, I didn't pass that, that's for sure. So it was just because, of course, they're not really doing the math right. And then you can go through and you can just review all your questions that you got wrong. And then what they do is they give you the videos to watch if you do get something wrong. So then you can review it that way, because some of the rationales, they're okay. They're just, decent, but they have the videos, which are really good. And I did watch a video about multiple sclerosis because I did get a question wrong, which was really surprising because my first floor was a neuro floor. And then I'm like, why am I getting this wrong? So I did watch the video and I went, oh, okay. And sometimes it's not about the content because I knew the content. It's how the question is written. And that's a big thing with passing the NCLEX is, how do I actually answer these questions? How do I interpret those answers? What do they mean? So that's a big thing that we help with tutoring. So these were some of the quizzes that I did. No, I did more than that. In their qbank, it shows that I did 73 questions. I didn't, I did 70. I think I did more than that. So I did 50 questions. I got 78%. And then I did 25 questions. I got 76. And then I did another 25 questions and I got 80%. I did a couple of 10 question quizzes and I actually only got 64% on one of them, so I had to redo it. And then I got above 80, I'm not sure what it was, in the 90s somewhere. All right, now for some tips if you do decide to use nursing.com. If you're in nursing school and your teacher's not that great at teaching content and you think, I need someone better, this is not working. Your teachers are teaching from the PowerPoints, they're just kind of reading them, they're super boring. Get nursing.com. It's good. You will learn content. It's so much nicer than being with a boring teacher, okay? And that's a bummer, right? When you have to be at school or you're like watching your teacher teach and you just think, oh my gosh, these people are not good. My other tip is actually for teachers. So I think nursing.com would be really good for nursing schools and teachers because sometimes as a teacher, you may not be great at teaching the content or it might be a little bit overwhelming for you. So you could assign the students to watch the videos, the content review videos, and then you as the teacher in class could do case studies with them and do quizzes and games, go into the sim lab. And just use that school time, that in-person school time, to get the students engaged, get them talking, as opposed to them just all sitting in front of you and you're just talking the whole time. So I think it would be really good for nursing schools. Okay, so now my third tip. I don't think this is really a tip though, but if you're in nursing school and you have to do some NCLEX prep, it's like you're all done and now it's like, okay, now I need to do a review and practice a bunch of NCLEX questions. I really don't think nursing.com is for you. I cannot recommend it to my students because they don't have NGN questions that you can just practice in their regular qbank. Now, if they needed a SIMCLEX, like they needed to simulate a real NCLEX test and maybe they've run out and they just need like one or two, then nursing.com would be good for that. But the overall kind of NCLEX prep where you want to watch, an overview of videos and then practice the NCLEX questions without having to watch too many more videos, it's really not what that nursing.com to me is designed for. So I would probably use something else for that. Now, if they could get some NGN questions in there in their regular qbank, then I would probably change my mind. I said some nice things about nursing.com. I said some not some nice things about them, but it is my opinion and I do have to make sure that the students are using the best possible resource for their situation. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. If you are interested in tutoring, you can go to my website, thenclextutor.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.